कोई आए तो रजिस्ट्रेशन करा दो, अच्छी लगेगी। अब सर दोबारा लेना।
वह जननी ज्योतिर्मय निर्झर, कलुष भेदतम हर प्रकाश भर, जगमग जग करते वरदे वीणा वादनी वरदे।
The conference aims to provide a leading forum for sharing the original research contributions and practical development experiences among researchers and application developers. The conference is designed to enhance computer education and to provoke discussion among creative educators, researchers, consultants, entrepreneurs, and others in computer science and information technology education. It is our proud privilege to extend a very warm welcome to our eminent guests. We especially acknowledge the distinguished presence of Dr. Ashok Gupta, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, the IIS University, Dr. Rakhi Gupta, Registrar, the IIT, and Professor Karmeshu from the School of Computer Science and System Science, JNU, New Delhi. A very warm welcome to all once again.
दीप ज्योति
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति.
May I now request Dr. Ashok Gupta to extend floral greetings to our chief guest, Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, and our keynote speaker, Professor Karmeshu. Thank you, sir.
May I now request Dr. Ashok Gupta, Vice Chancellor, the IIS University, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Namaskar. Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, Professor Karmeshu, delegates, colleagues, and dear students. I extend you the hearty welcome to all of you today when we start with the National Conference on Future Direction. University is one of the 38 deemed universities which the review committee of the MHRD considered to be under category A. And we have tried to maintain the standards, quality, and academics in our institution, leading thereby to its exponential growth, where we find that we have students not only from India but from abroad also. The institution, which started with just 52 girls, now has over 4,500 girls studying in various faculties, that is arts, science, commerce, home science, and fine arts. I am grateful to Dr. Ashwini Kumarji and Professor Karmeshu for having acceded to a request of being here to bless our students and staff alike. Looking at the present scenario, when we talk of smart cities and digitalization, information technology is the strength of Indian economy and education. We, as a dynamic university of this state, look forward to facilitate the growth of this ever-evolving branch of knowledge. As computing evolves, so does computer science as a discipline. This puts continual pressure on computer science academia and practitioners to adopt the significant changes and move ahead. Innovation is expensive. Change takes time, effort, and commitment. We, as agents of change, are committed in our endeavors, and therefore this conference is designed to spark discussion among creative educators, researchers, consultants, training managers, policymakers, curriculum developers, entrepreneurs, and others in computer science and information technology. This conference offers a platform for sharing ideas and findings on data engineering, knowledge management, network and communication technologies, advances in software engineering, to name a few. It also aims to provide a forum to analyze the multidisciplinary aspect of computing technologies in science, management, and humanities. I congratulate the Department of Computer Science and IT of the university for having taken up a lead in this direction by organizing a 2-day conference. I'm sure the 2 days of the deliberations will benefit all the resource persons, delegates, and students. Once again, on behalf of the IIS University and on my personal behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Professor Pradeep Bhatnagar, Dean, Faculty of Science, the IIS University, to give the audience an insight into the aims and objectives of the conference.
Namaskar, Professor Kameshu, Dr. Ashwini Kumar, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ashok Gupta, resource persons, participants, students and guests. It's my honor to welcome you all at this 2 days national conference. IT has core part in all the disciplines and has increased the boundaries. Its advancement greatly influenced the culture and social context that shape our lives. It became necessary to promote research and develop new computational methodology and study their applications and interaction with other disciplines. Keeping this in mind, this 2 days national conference on future direction in multidisciplinary perspectives and the computer science and information technology scopes and challenges has been organized by the Department of Computer Science and IT of this university. The conference has 4 technical sessions dedicated to 4 different themes: data engineering and knowledge management, network and communication technology, multidisciplinary role of computing technologies in science, management and humanities, advancement in software engineering and computing technology. Each session will have 2 invited talks by the expert of the subject and the oral presentation by the scholars. There will be 8 invited lectures, 30 oral presentations, and various themes of the conference will be presented in approximately 38 posters prepared by the faculty, PhD scholars, PG and UG students of the university. There are prizes also for best 2 oral presentations and for the best 2 poster presentations. I am sure that present conference will help in promoting scientific and educational activities toward the advancement of the theory and practice in computer science, IT and the related areas of art and science for the service of humanity. The conference will also provide a common platform for the academicians, research scholars, practice engineers, and students to present their work and share their idea among themselves. I wish a great success for this conference. Hope the stay of outstation resource persons and participants at Jaipur will be enjoyable. And thanks once again to the chief guest, resource persons and other participants for accepting our invitation. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Professor Karmeshu is from the School of Computer and System Sciences, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Karmeshu has also been the president for the Mathematics section of the 25th session of Indian Science Congress Association. He is also the president for JNU, New Delhi. May I now invite Professor Karmeshu to kindly deliver the keynote address.
The organizer, Dr. Sharma, Vice Chancellor Dr. Gupta, Madam Registrar, Dean Bhatnagar Sahab, Dr. Ruchinanda, Dr. Anubha Jain, colleagues and young friends. The topic which I have chosen is mathematical modeling and simulation, approach for systems study, application to ICT diffusion. First, at the outset, I will discuss why mathematical modeling is a transdisciplinary area now. Across all disciplines, be it social sciences, be it biological sciences, be it engineering sciences, whichever area you see, mathematics has percolated. Mathematics has become the language of modern science. If someone is equipped with mathematics, you will find all breakthroughs will be taking place. Across the real advantages, now if you look at the top journals in biological sciences like Nature, Nature brings out topics on cancer research. And you find that all these papers deal with mathematical models. And the beauty is, the moment you see the mathematical framework, you see the entire paper. Everything starts unfolding what is there inside the paper. So what I propose,
I shall discuss some role of mathematical modeling, why mathematical modeling is so important. Then I will discuss some ICT aspects, and then I will relate it to management science as a diffusion phenomena, how different persons come to adopt different type of ICT diffusion, like ICT as a product or framework. So mathematical modeling is a truly transdisciplinary framework, connotes a research strategy that crosses many disciplinary boundaries to create a holistic approach. Recent decades, mathematics has become the language of contemporary scholarship. Each discipline has its own idiom and vocabulary, which researchers in other disciplines find it difficult to comprehend. So mathematics as a language is so powerful that across all different disciplines, you find there is a unifying framework which is so useful. Therefore, there was a great need to find a common language which transcends disciplines. So mathematical science has come to play this vital role by bridging the gap. Why mathematical modeling, particularly in last 3-4 decades, has become so powerful? Because there have been breakthroughs by Hermann Haken, synergetics. He started the field. He's a German professor, and he finds that there are about all disciplines you can explain through the synergy. There are many subsystems which interact, and this interaction is non-linear. And because of this non-linear interaction, you find there is a qualitative different pictures. So what is the qualitative picture? Suppose you are boiling water. When it reaches a critical temperature, water goes into steam. So there is a phase transition. You are cooling it. Suddenly you find at a critical temperature, you find the water is going from, this becomes ice. Similarly, you have political systems. Suddenly you find there is a breakout of riots. So you find there is a critical phenomena. There are critical points in the system which are responsible for. Now people are finding these type of points in environmental science, which they call as tipping points. You reach a critical point and you find the system goes from one state to another. And if you are going into a desirable state, obviously you would like system should move into that state. If you find that it is not a desirable state, you have to make efforts so that you can stop it from moving into that state. So there are signatures which you have to identify. Okay. So there are signatures which you have to identify. And once you know the signature, so you can adjust. So synergetics, Hermann Haken started this field, and 100 volumes. Synergy in management, synergy in this, synergy in chemistry, synergy in management science, synergy in neuroscience. And particularly I will also emphasize the role of now neuroscience. Neuroscience as a brain science is where ICT is playing a major role, is becoming so powerful that across the world, all different top universities are working in computational neuroscience. Unfortunate part is, I would be critical what is happening in our country. Somehow neuroscience was started in 1980 in American universities. I was visiting University of Seattle. I was surprised that each department, mathematics, department of physiology, department of physics, mathematics, statistics, electrical engineering, computer science, every department has a neuroscientist, and it is this group. Each university has several neuroscientists, and across entire United States you will find several persons who are engaged in this type of work. And all the challenges which we are going to face in this century has to deal with biological problems. The highest award in computer science is, can anyone tell me what is the highest award in computer science? We don't have Nobel Prize. It is Turing Award. Alan Turing, Turing Award, the Turing Award winner from Stanford University, Donald Knuth. He says next 500 years are devoted to biological sciences. Real problems, fascinating problems are coming from brain, neuroscience, biological science, all genomic sequence. Because how many neurons are there? In the 10 to the power 12 neurons are there, and all neurons are connected, and this forms a very, very big whole. Even the fastest computer could not be able to handle everything. So it is a mathematical, physical, chemical insight. All these insights have to come to understand. There is emergence of brain disorder, Parkinson's disease, schizophrenia, all different type of diseases people are looking at from mathematical perspective, and this neuroscience. Then another dimension is, because all these different disciplines, massive data is resulting into an area which is called data science. Now what people are interested in, like a stock market. Earlier stock market, when Black-Scholes did their work, 1973, they got Nobel Prize. Merton also, one of them passed away. So 2 persons got the Nobel Prize. In financial economics, the stock market, the rate at which we are acquiring data. And this is now something which is similar to algorithmic trading. Now, individuals are not playing. It is the software agents who are playing on your behalf. And this algorithmic trading, you are having data almost at the microsecond level. It's a massive, massive data. Giving this, and so there are signatures of intraday returns, stock prices, so there are different type of studies. So people are working on computational neuroscience. And daily the interest rate is fluctuating when you do it over 1 year. So you are solving integrals which are 365 dimensional integrals. So it is only the mathematical parts, the computational parts which is giving you this. Similarly, like all genomic sequence, giving all of us the billions of pairs, 4 nucleotides ACGT. It is such a massive program. So this whole area of genomic science is so exciting. And now people are talking about predictive medicine. Given this genome sequence, one can say that given this sequence, it is likely that the person is likely to suffer with diabetes. So at the later stage, after 40 years, 50 years, you can predict, like Janampatri, that this fellow is going to suffer with this. So that is excitement. And mind it, the world's top biotech, molecular biologists, top bioinformatician, computational biology. These persons are mathematicians. At MIT, the person who is heading the entire group is white. Similarly, the person who is heading all this brain surgery, this is a computer scientist. Now they are saying given brain tumor. So you can take pictures from all different directions and you can specify this is a tumor, and the surgery time has gone from 12 hours to 4 hours. So this excitement, where you find the merger of all different disciplines, and that gives you a truly transdisciplinary approach, which is so exciting. Not only in sciences, in social sciences also. Some of the examples I will illustrate, which will give you, there is a unifying picture across all different disciplines. You find there is one whole. And if you understand it well, you can really contribute, and all of you are young, so think of contributing something, and nation should grow. Okay, so these synergetics, there are 100 volumes, you can see Haken, you will find all these what is synergy. Then dissipative structures, Prigogine. He got Nobel Prize in chemistry. Okay, so next is Prigogine, dissipative structures. He started the field of, he is a chemist. Structures far from equilibrium, so you have to dissipate energy and you get different structures. Because this has been a question with all mankind, all physicists, mathematicians, chemists, that given a human body, we know that second law of thermodynamics tells you everything when it goes to a maximum state of disorder. But question is how is human body is not disintegrating and it is not going to a state of maximum disorder, because all these systems are driven far from equilibrium. They are open system, human body is an open system, energy is being fed, and systems are maintained at a level which is far from equilibrium. Second law of thermodynamics is not applicable, and these are all dissipative structures. That was Prigogine's work, entropic production, for which he got Nobel Prize. And incidentally, this work has percolated so many different disciplines. Even in literature, people are calling dissipative structures and literature. Even people are calling about non-linear literature. Because all this linear literature we know. And non-linear literature like Gabriel He got Nobel Prize in Literature. He says man is a victim of linear habits. Means there is a monotony. You get up and this and this, the same routine. But it is a non-linearity which gives you a lot of variety. Then catastrophe theory. Renathon, a mathematician who started this sudden change, given a dog barking and you are hitting. So there are two possibilities, either the dog will run away or will bite you. And this whole analysis was carried out in Scientific American article by Zeman, 1975. Then dynamical systems, all systems are dynamical now. Systems which are evolving over time. All your weather forecasting is a dynamical system. And these systems are so highly non-linear, so difficult. In best of the computers, supercomputers are not able to predict long-term prediction. Short-term prediction is possible. But if someone says, I want long-term prediction, that is not possible because the systems are inherently chaotic. And this chaos business is also infinite sensitive to infinitesimal perturbations. Bifurcation theory, chaos theory, advances in game theory. Now game theory is also in economics started, but now it has become integral part of computer science. Game theory, when started by von Neumann, Morgenstern, 1940s, and then John Nash, he got Nobel Prize, that movie came. Very famous movie. How many of you watched that movie? Raise hands. That is a very good movie, you should see. So John Nash, then 9 Nobel Prizes have gone into economics in this particular area. Now computer science has adopted because all the strategies which you are working, whether it's your wireless communication, any system where you are competitive, there are different strategies. Game theory comes in a natural manner. So like IISc Bangalore, game theory is an integral part of MTech computer science, MS computer science. So advances in optimization, nonlinear estimation, complexity theory. Actually, what is all engineering? Modeling, you try to understand the model, and whatever model you have, eventually you start optimizing. You say, what is the best optimal solution I should have? So optimization becomes an integral part of all your modeling and simulation. So within the framework of these developments, we are able to capture both qualitative and quantitative aspects of social sciences also. So mathematical modeling as a theoretical framework, as an essential feature of scientific investigations. Actually, all this started with Newtonian paradigm. Way back 300 years ago, whatever Newton gave, all of us started working. Given any large system, I can decompose it. Each one of us will study each subsystem. I will superpose, and I say this is the solution. But now they are finding systems are essentially non-linear. 1 plus 1 is not 2, it becomes 11. So it is this qualitative change. They say because of this non-linearity you find there is a qualitative change, and that is excitement, and which you witness not only in physical system, chemical system, biological system, in social systems as well. So the same mathematical framework, same all these different frameworks people have started applying in this type of systems. Next. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. So then in social sciences, initially when people started, they thought that we can apply physical system to social sciences. It was not applicable, it became social physics, but the question became, because all these approaches were essentially linear. So they said there is a unique equilibrium, and social scientists decried it. Why? Because they say that I am not a particle, I have some freedom of choice. And given this freedom of choice, it became possible to handle this thing only recent years when we had nonlinear systems. Earlier people thought that is all nonsense, so they dismissed this, that freedom of choice became very, very important. But they found some statistical regularity in social phenomena. There are very powerful theorem in probability theory, central limit theorem and law of large numbers. What they found? So this is a mathematical statement of central limit theorem, I am just skipping. Similarly, log normal distribution is also very important. But this was interesting. Shockley, a great person who started transistors, he said why some people publish 10 papers in their lifetime, some 20, some 30, some 40, some 1500. But I must tell all of you youngsters, Publication means if you have some SCI publications, Science Citation Index. Otherwise, our ranking international world is going down. The fact is that most of our papers we are publishing are non-SCI journals and they have no counting. So SCI, and similarly in social science, it is SSCI, Social Science Citation Index. So those impact factor journals have meaning, otherwise it has no meaning. And if you, so Shockley argued that the maximum number of papers was by a mathematician, Paul Erdős. He had 1500 papers, and if you look at the publication profile, then you find it has a typical shape which is log normal. And then he gave a rationale. Why? Because central limit theorem works like all human height is normal distribution, because we consist of how many bones? 206. If you add up, you are normally distributed. Similarly, examination, you say board, Rajasthan board, because each question says you have 10 questions to answer, or 7, 8. Each question has 3, 4 parts. So roughly you are answering 20 parts. And if you add up all this, then by central limit theorem, it is a normal distribution. But if it is a multiplicative mechanism, like income distribution is multiplicative. In order to make money, you have to have several factors. Unless you have all the factors, and if you multiply it because these factors are multiplied, then you find it becomes a log normal distribution. Same log normal distribution when you say look at the number of publications. So Shockley argued, in order to publish a paper, there are several factors, P1, P2, Pn. Then the probability is a product of this, and hence by central limit theorem, log P is normal distribution, P is log normal distribution. Similarly, you can say, suppose there is a big rock, if you crush it, then finally you find it is a log normal distribution of size. You take aerosols, if you look at it, that follows a log normal distribution. Similarly, if you take many mechanical engineering, electricals, wherever you find the size distribution, it follows a log normal distribution. The reason is that if there is a multiplicative mechanism, it will lead to this. Now people are talking about power law. Now power law is something which you are finding across all disciplines. Be it all computer science file sizes. Internet traffic has a power law behavior which is called fractal life. So earlier people had designed their ATM machines, and which they have to asynchronous transfer mode machines, so which they have to withdraw because the traffic is power law. It requires a lot of big buffer sizes. So this is the implication of all this power law. Similarly, when heart goes into fibrillation, heart attack, it is a power law behavior. Similarly, if you take the music, Kannada music and all this, so if you look at the analyze the music, the interesting music is 1 upon F noise, which again is a power law. Somehow earthquake, the frequency is also 1 upon F noise. Across all disciplines, you find there is a unifying principle which is called 1 upon F noise. Phenomenal. So I am skipping this. So synergetic, it deals with profound and amazing analogies between self-organized behavior of seemingly quite different systems in physics, chemistry, biology, sociology and other fields. The cooperation of many subsystems such as atoms, molecules, cells, animals or humans may produce spatial, temporal or functional structures. So mathematically you find this I can skip. Now there is a lot of emphasis on this type of nonlinear systems, q dot equal to minus q and harmonic oscillators, and the potential function turns out to be this, quartic. And the interesting thing is, initially when we were doing physics in 60s, 70s, the potential was like this, but now because of this nonlinearity, and if the parameter changes, suddenly you find this potential become, there are two states, this state and this state, and this occurs because of nonlinearity. And this type of things we are witnessing in almost all disciplines, that there are multiple states which we call as multiple equilibrium. Systems have, so why this became so powerful? Social systems, you have multiple equilibria. Biological systems like brain, order and disorder. When there is a brain disorder, you have a 2-state system, 3-state, multiple states. Environment, again multiple state, whether this is a healthy environment or unhealthy environment, system is driven into another state. So this, as you are changing the potential function, earlier the potential function is like this, And now as you're changing, the potential function becomes like this. So suddenly you find slight change. This ball will just move from here to here. So with slight change, the state changes from one state to another, and that is qualitative change. For example, the ball immediately moves from here to slight change in the parameters. So mathematicians argue, and this is called catastrophic theory. Sudden change. Say for example, now if you look at it, this is a potential function. If you look at this, what do you find this? Was. And if you slide perturbation, you find it two faces. So similarly, you find was and face. Slight perturbation, you move either into this state or in this state. Next, this is hysteresis effect. In physics, we have done it, BH curve, hysteresis effect, but the same thing they are finding in visual perception also. For example, if you look at it, similarly like social system is in this early state like this, and when you reach this point, what happens? System cannot move on this. Slight change means this you jump from here to on the upper branch. Like market crash, from up you go down. Sudden this discontinuous jumps is possible only in nonlinear systems. Similarly in physics, chemical system, many systems you have this hysteresis effect. Important is as you are going, system is moving on this branch, system makes a transition, goes up, and when you are reducing, the system does not make a transition here, you have to go right up to this, and this is called hysteresis effect. Now you see visual hysteresis. Face of a, अब बताइए, face of man, 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 no. नहीं लास्ट तो अभी तक तो यहाँ तक मैन कह रहे थे ये वुमेन है अब so your perception changed as you're moving here, perception changed here. Now let us do the other way. Woman, woman, woman. So it means when you are moving here, your perception changes here. When you are going in the other direction, your perception changes here. And this means the history is important. Whether you are changing the parameter or you are decreasing the parameter. So all social systems, if you can predict, because we cannot predict that, say Punjab Accord, Sant Longwal, and there was a crisis situation in Punjab. After that, Rajiv Gandhi had to give more concessions in order to bring the situation back to the normal. So it means the role of non-linearity and this becomes very, very important. Say catastrophic shifts in anticipatory critical transition. This paper recently came in Nature. What they are finding, ecosystems are exposed to gradual changes in climate, biotic exploitation. A smooth change can be interrupted by a sudden drastic switches to a contrasting state. And loss of resilience usually paves the way for a switch to an alternative state. So system has a high resilience and system is in this state. As you are changing, this potential, this resilience, they start losing and system moves suddenly from this to, makes a transition from this to low. So question is, if you can have all data you are generating, vast amount of data, you can start analyzing the system. When is the critical point, when is the critical transition taking place in social system? All political system, biological system, ecosystem, physical. Even now they are talking about memristors. In computer science, they are saying this is the whole will transform the entire technology. Because they are saying it's a multiple equilibria. Memristors systems can depict TiO2. And lot of work is coming in Journal of Applied Physics. Let us people looking at what are the great transitions taking place in these systems where there are multiple equilibria. Hysteresis effect, the same systems which I depicted are also finding applications in new microelectronics era. This we wrote a paper of political conflict, general conflict between different groups. So here also we found, so So we wrote a mathematical equation, we published in Journal of Conflict Resolution, and this came from Yale University. We took 4 years. Paper was rejected, accepted, rejected. So all after this, finally it was accepted, and the referee said this is the first mathematical model of revolution. How the system makes a transition from this, and if you look at it, the hostility level is low. And when you reach the critical point, system makes a transition from year to year, the hostility level goes into high state. If you want to retrieve, the system, if you start deprivation, you are reducing, the system does not make a transition, you have to go right up to the point there to make a transition, and this is hysteresis effect. And if you go further, it's a multiple hysteresis effect, and the system start moving from one state to another, and eventually system goes out of. So all mathematical I am just skipping, so we can just skip. Then I will come to ICT. Okay. ICT, what is ICT? Combination of information technology that was with other related technology, specific communication. Because earlier it was IT. Now there is a convergence of technology, so you call it, because this communication technology, it becomes ICT, information communication technology. ICT plays a pivotal role in effective knowledge dissemination and implementation. This in turn leads to sustainability and progress. Very important thing. Suppose whenever you diffuse some product, suppose you have television, whether you have it or not, if I have it, I can enjoy television. But if I have email, my email would be useful only if you have email, otherwise I cannot. So interactive communication technology, there is a group at Stanford University, Rogers. He argues that the systems where there is a notion of interactive communication technology, the diffusion is vastly different from ordinary diffusion. Marketing persons are interested in, if you give me a product, given a fashion, how does it diffuse? It is word of mouth and the mass media. All this fashion, people have studied word of mouth and mass media. Given a mathematical model, you can say what is the product life cycle and what is the optimal time for introduction of a new product. But so far as communication technologies are concerned, like ICT, internet, diffusion of internet, it is not a linear dynamics. It is a non-linear dynamics, and once you reach a critical mass, only then you find there is this whole thing start diffusing. So Rogers defines critical mass just like in atomic bomb, the point in time at which enough individuals have adopted an interactive innovation that the perceived cost benefit of adopting the innovation changes from negative to positive. The moment the utility function goes from negative to positive, you say this is a positive thing and you start adopting it. So here in this case, so the underlying dynamics is non-linear, mimics the pattern of self-organizing system. Positive feedbacks accrue on all. Now there is a whole network science. All of us are interconnected. And this has led to a field which is called network science. Everyone in this world is 6 degrees away. There is a book. It means if all the persons in this world are connected by 6 hops, you can reach from one area to another. This experiment Milgram used in 1929, someone in Africa, he started sending mails, someone to US. So they just calculated on in 6 hops, this letter reached that particular person. And 6 degrees away, that started network science where the economists are interested, sociologists interested, social network, Facebook, all these things are essentially self-organizing systems which people are interested. So this is a notion of critical mass. If you have ordinary diffusion, and if you are not worried about the critical mass, the system evolves and just tapers at 10%. And that is what is happening in our country. Most of the technology we just finish 5-10% and the rest is nothing. So it means the entire country doesn't benefit. The heterogeneity of this country doesn't allow to make advantage of this. Only once you reach that critical mass, you find it becomes a self-sustaining and system reaches, and then the diffusion takes place very, very fast. And last, I am coming to knowledge economy, innovation, scientific breakthroughs, how to promote innovative thinking. So given this aspect, my last slide, so there is a notion of critical temperature that will enhance your creativity. If a system is working in multiple states, if there are individuals and they are excited, the system always tries to bring them to a dormant state. And that is what happens in many and our educational institutions. If some persons are very active, very smart, but somehow the system tries to bring them. So the role of the system is to take them from this to a high level. And that is the creativity, probability. So T is the creative social temperature. And if you can bring them from here to here, that is the role. And that is the criteria on which one can judge how the education system is performing. So this I am thinking I can skip the whole phase, adoption process, Rogers, knowledge phase, S-shaped curve. There is a study up to 2005 you could get data. Then mathematical model of this. So these are the things one can continue. Thank you very much. I must stop now.
Thank you, sir, for throwing light on how transitions are taking place in the systems and how it is affecting the various disciplines. Thank you once again for such an enlightening and enriching talk. Thank you, sir. Officer in National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, New Delhi. Dr. Ashwini Sharma has done his PhD from Rajasthan University and has over 30 years of experience in industry and government organizations of national and international repute like Toshiba Corporation, Tokyo, Japan, RRI CO Limited, Jaipur, Asian CERC Information Technology Limited, Bangalore, and many more. He has rendered his services at many places.
Good morning to everyone. Dr. Ashok Gupta, Vice Chancellor, the IAS University, Professor Kamreshu, Professor from School of Computer Science, JNU Delhi, Professor Pradeep Bhatnagar Sahab, Dean, Faculty of Science, Dr. Rakhi Gupta, and Anubha Jain, and dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I must convey my sincere thanks, and I must congratulate Dr. Ashok Gupta, organizers and his team to basically select a very good topic for deliberations. Why I am saying is because, see, I am basically working in the government of India, and in the present scene, you must all are aware, because this is a country of young population where 65% population is less than 35 years below age. That's the beauty of the country, which the Honorable Prime Minister is basically pushing hard to make them feel that they can do wonders in the country, they can do wonders in the world. Because the power lies with the country when you have got a young generation. And that is the only privilege which we have got over other countries, which include even the China, where the average age is more than 35 years. In our country, more than 65% citizens are less than 35 years age, which means they have got a creativity, because more and more you grow, you land into non-linear systems, and your creativity goes down, you land into more in administration and handling the day-to-day problems. So the topic is very good, because future directions in multidisciplinary perspective of computer science and IT technology, scope and challenges. That's a very good topic in the sense, if you must have heard to the speech of the Honorable Prime Minister or the bureaucrats who are working in the government, we have been talking about Digital India and Make in India. Why? Because we feel, rather I will say it should be Design in India, not Make in India. Once I say Make in India, it means I am getting the technology from abroad and I will do manufacturing over here. I say why to go for that? Our population itself is more than 120 crore. Why not to design clothes and everything suitable to our country, suitable to ourselves? See, as on date, what we are wearing, what we do, what we eat is based on the IPR of American company or IPR of UK company, which means they have designed something. Lee, you see this brand, you see any brand of any shoe. Things have been designed there, they have started manufacturing, they have transferred the technology to country, or they have transferred the technology to some producer, and he has been producing that. But frankly speaking, he is getting a royalty for that. Do you test? I don't know whether how many of you know, when we were kids in 1960s, we used to take that narangi ki toffee aaya karti thi. Okay? I don't know now anybody use that. Now we go for Cadbury, we go for some better brand. So what is happening is, that is the time where we can work on Make in India. Now, when we are saying digital India, we have emphasized, we have worked out 9 pillars of the digital India. Why? Because we feel that major e-governance projects which have been designed, we are not able to roll them out in a proper way. Because that's the reason I am saying this topic is very important. Because we have been thinking that e-governance means automation, computerization. We have never thought that it is not a computerization, it is not an automation, it is a transformation. And when I am saying transformation, it means basically you have to go for process engineering, you have to go for social impact, you have to go for family impact, you have to look into number of impacts, number of sciences, which include computer science, social science, environmental science, production science, marketing science, like that, even the neuroscience. What impact it will have on your brain, whether you are adaptable for that or not. So, what is the society? Whether you are allowed to talk to your father through a Facebook. I have seen number of, especially in Rajasthan, in Jaipur, still there are Suranas or they are jewelers. When his father comes, he will stand up. He may be a big jeweler. That's the culture we have got. So do you allow to talk to each other through a Facebook? How can you give a regard to someone through a Facebook? So that's the reason that the project which we have been doing throughout the country, we have not been able to push it fast. Because what is happening is, we have been working on concept of automation. But now the time has come when we are saying that when we will go for digital India, where we have been targeting 9 pillars, we have to work on the concept that we have to go for interdisciplinary knowledge and challenges which are being faced over there. Now when I am saying 9 pillars of the digital India, the most and important pillar is the broadband highway. Why I am saying is, see, you can develop a lot of infrastructure, applications, but if I am not able to write it on the real network, if I am not able to disseminate it to the citizens, if I am not able to use it, then it is of no use. आपने देखा होगा कभी आपका इंटरनेट जब आप काम कर रहे हो कभी कभी it suddenly goes down, then in particular area it will not operate, sometime it will give a very good speed. Now when we are talking about, the concept is coming from e-governance to m-governance. When we are saying we'll do everything through mobile, you must have heard that we have been targeting that all services to be delivered to the citizen shall be done through mobile. Now when I am saying about mobile, basically what I mean is that it should be at the doorstep of the citizen. And now not at the doorstep of the citizen, rather it should be in the hand of the citizen. That is what we are doing. That's the difference between the e-governance and the m-governance. When I am saying e-governance, I am saying at the doorstep of the citizen, but when I am saying m-governance, I am trying to say it is at the hand, palm of the citizen. And it is only possible when we have got a very good broadband highway. Similarly, universal access in phones or in telecommunication or communication. Why it is so? Because I do remember in 1984 when I was working in Toshiba, Japan, there was a protocol called MAP, Manufacturing Automation Protocol. And I do remember that that time the assignment which was given to me was to make 2 different makes from 2 different countries. One was Digital Control System of Japan, another was Allen Bradley PLC of America. The PLC, basically programmable logic controller, operates in the field. It measures temperature or volume or whatever it is through a transducer, and it has to come to the digital control system. One was Japanese technology, one was American technology. It was that time not allowed to merge both of them. So we, being Indians, have got a better mind, very good logistic. So we thought we will do one thing, we will take output of one, drop it into some buffer, and from buffer again we will read and give it to the another one. Purpose was that we are not marrying both, but we are able to translate the data, carry the data from one center system to another center. Now that time how much problem we had. Now similarly if you see your mobile, now what is happening is you have got different chargers, you have got different categories to communicate. If you go, I remember when we used to come from abroad, there was a message, don't bring this particular technology based VCR, bring PAL based VCR, because it will not operate in this thing. Even when the mobile came in country, there were a lot of constraints. When you are bringing a mobile, you have to talk to your Indian friends, ask him for the technology, megahertz, this, then you have to bring that. Now, basically, to to make technology more open and to make it for Make in India, we are targeting that it should be universal access. Anywhere, any mobile you can plug in, anywhere you can talk, why to based on bandwidth. Now third is that public internet access program. That is what we are targeting in the 9th pillar of the Digital India, that we should allow public to interact the way they want to do through internet. Then reforms government through IT, which means e-governance. Then similarly, we are targeting for e-Kranti. When I am saying e-Kranti, it is basically delivering of services to the citizens either through e-governance or m-governance. That the most important sector which may be of use to all of you, those who are youngsters, that is electronic sector design manufacturing. We have to start making and manufacturing in India. And that's the reason we have been targeting major MNCs, trying to understand that how we can skill our youngsters so that they are adaptable to them for taking up the challenges which they want to basically take up in India. And then the last and most important pillar is the IT for jobs. We have to deploy the IT for creating jobs. When I am saying deploying IT for jobs doesn't mean only jobs in IT sector. What I mean by this, or what the government mean by this, is that now the time is coming. There is a concept of virtual office. You can sit anywhere, you can address any concept, you can address your challenges sitting from this thing. Now, why, as I said, this topic, what is the relevance of this topic is that even the developed economies, they are fighting too much. Looking to the high level of competitiveness, every day you find a new brand in the market, whether it is mobile, whether it is clothes, whether it is shoes, whether it is toffee, whatever it is, eatable. There was a McDonald's, then came the some other brand. Now things are changing. Similarly, there is a hike in the level of unemployment throughout the developed countries, not even in India, a country like India. It is in the developed countries also. That's the reason if you see the USA, the GDP keeps on fluctuating. Now, then basically, to take up these challenges, all developed countries, they are basically focusing on innovations. And when we are saying innovations, this topic of the workshop has a major relevance, because when we are saying innovation, it has to take care and cater to all aspects of the life, which includes social, technical, even marketing, analytics, neuro, like that. Now, what is happening is, we have to basically work on transformation of economic and social transactions, and we see that it is all possible through ICT. When I am saying, as Professor Kamesu has just said, it is basically information communication technology. So we can bring transformation of economic and social transactions through ICT. Now, what is happening is, as on date, as I said, that there is a low usage of e-governance. One of the reasons is that those e-governance solutions which have been developed, they are too general. I mean, they have been developed, definitely. There is an attempt by the government, it is an attempt by the state government as well as the central government, as well as by the citizens also. But they are too general in nature. Now, everybody has got his different thought process. Somebody wants that when I speak, I should get a reply from the solution provider. Somebody wants I should get some solution through a formal way. Somebody wants I should get a visual solution. So basically, then we have to make these solutions more specific to an individual. And once you are going for that, again, number of engineering comes into picture. Now what is the issue? Issue is that how ICT to be deployed for socially complex environment. Our environment in which we are working, it is socially very complex. We have to manage, we have to talk, we have to manage work in an atmosphere, we have to take care of everything. Within the system, outside the system, within the country, outside the country. So that is the most biggest challenge, that how ICT to be deployed for social complex environment. Then how to ensure that we can maximize the information dissemination. See, the biggest challenge to citizens in the country and to all of us is that we do not know what we deserve and how to deserve and how to get it. That's the biggest challenge. आज भी आप लोग यदि सरकार की इतनी सुविधाएं हैं, या आपने भी देखा हो, आप लोग क्या करते हो, कोई भी चीज सर्च करनी हो, गूगल पे जाते हो, याहू पे जाते हो, सर्च मारते हो, कभी भी आपको पता नहीं है कि कौन सा URL कहाँ पे आपको लिंक करना है. Why it is so? Because we are not able to disseminate the information. Maybe government is very poor in marketing. It is also possible. Maybe we are not able to understand which thing can bring better impact. For example, when I was working as a CEO in a private company in Bangalore, I was given a task to go for a publicity of some item. There were two options to me. One option was to give an ad in the newspaper, which may cost me around 15 to 20 lakh rupees by giving a good photo, good write-ups. Another option, which I thought, being a government servant, is why not to call some bureaucrat, some politician, and organize a function. Now, both has got its pros and cons that we cannot discuss over here. But definitely, we could find that once we give an ad, then it is basically targeted into a particular segment of the category, whether it is student or politician or maybe to whomsoever it is being made. But when you are going for public release through the mouthpiece or through the mouth of a government servant, it carries a different impact. Now what happened when we did this, and when the Secretary IT or the Secretary Home said something, it has come in the news like that, and the media is very good in putting the good jargons, good words on the coverage, and he said, when the government of India says this will be the new policy for this. Now everybody has gone through. Maybe it is possible the target segment must have gone little bit less, but those who have read it, they were related to the target segment. So what I mean, this is the way you have to select it out, how to maximize the information dissemination, then increase adaptation among the users. That is also one of the challenge which we have to look into. How knowledge from multiple disciplines like social science, computer science, industrial design, marketing research can ride on ICT. And this is what I understand this workshop during the 2 days deliberations will address, that how future directions in multidisciplinary perspective will take care of computer science and ICT. Now, it is also a fact that we have to be very careful when we are talking about our activities on ICT, that ICT has to work as a tool. It is not a solution provider. Why I am saying is, because being in government, working in different organizations, I could find whenever something comes related to e-governance, the first mindset goes to the core technical team who can do some programming or who can design the system. But let me tell you and let me share with you that in e-governance, if you see, the E word is small, governance G is very big, capital, and that itself indicates that in e-governance